Hey there guys, welcome back to Hersey Games and welcome back to our QPR career mode into the second season of this. And if you missed the first season, then make sure you go back and check out the playlist. But if you're all caught up, then it's probably something you already know. We are, of course, in the Premier League. Very happy indeed. Over the moon with the fact we did get our promotion. So we are going to be sat well and truly in probably the difficult time of this career mode, being the first promotion up into the Prem. It's not an easy one to sort of make that transition from any league to another league, but Championship to Prem has been proven time and time again. It's a pretty difficult jump to make. But obviously, thankfully, we have you guys to come in and help with some potential signings to make. So a few suggestions which I'll go through, and a few things that I forgot to mention, but actually a lot of were actually also suggested in the comments of the last video as well. So you guys, we're on the same wavelength. You'll love to see it. One thing that's worth saying before we sort of jump in too much into today's episode, there's a good chance there either won't be any actual gameplay or there won't be much gameplay today. It's mainly going to be focusing on players to bring in, players that we're potentially letting go of, and obviously getting through preseason. That's kind of the main thing of today. So this isn't going to be a massively sort of, as I say, game heavy episode. One thing we need to do is look through our current squad and potentially look to either offload, re-sign, or sort of, work out what we're doing with players. Now, Senny's only got a year in his contract. I definitely want to re-sign Senny to a contract. Archer's only got a year in his contract, but we are going to transfer this Archer and bring in a second keeper to offer the rotation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer list Mahoney purely because out of him and Walsh, I think Walsh in game has the higher potential. They're the same age and Walsh is slightly higher rated. However, Jacobs, I think, will be our third choice keeper. So the plan will probably be that I actually try and loan out Jacobs, get him some minutes elsewhere, start to go through those ratings, and by the end of the season hopefully can come in and then sort of be our second choice keeper, like our youth keeper for the cups and stuff like that. That's probably going to be the plan. Walsh stays for the season and we will bring in a new second choice keeper. Had some suggestions as well, but we'll go through those in a mo. Kenneth Powell is our starting left back. We're going to transfer list Hammerleinen. I'm sure a lot of QPR fans would agree, doesn't seem like he's ever really going to make it into the team, so got no issue with getting rid. Rob Dickey, we're going to be signing him on. He's our highest rated centre back. There's no way we let him go. Obviously, need to start Jimmy Dunn's contract as well. We are going to let Connor Masterson go. Clark Salter, we're going to keep for sure. Been really fun using him last season, and I really like him. Gubbins, I think what I'm going to do is loan list. Highly doubt we'll really get anything for him right now. So get him out on loan, maybe try and play for a season at another club, and then maybe look to offload when he's a little bit higher rated and worth something. Laird, obviously, we signed on a permanent at the end of last season, so very happy he's here. Hope is going to be sent out on loan. I'll probably send Hope out on loan and then keep Franklin. I think Hope's got a higher chance of being higher rated. I think, if I remember their stats, I might be wrong, but we'll get Hope loaned out. You know what? Actually, we're also going to loan out Franklin. Get them both loaned out. Why not? We'll keep hold of Ozzy as our rotation as he was last season. Field, we're obviously going to re-sign. Johansson, 32, he is retiring at the end of the season, which sucks to see. There's nothing we can really do about that. He's probably going to drop to being a rotation anyway. As we know, Dexter Howe is hopefully going to be part of the future of this club anyway, sort of basically replacing Johansson. It'll be interesting to see if he can overtake in regards to rating this season. We shall see. Andre Dizelle, depending on how deep the squad is looking, I might loan out Dizelle. I don't think I'm going to sell him this season. Charlie Owens, we are going to sell, however, so he's going to be off on his way out. Luke Amos, we're going to keep hold of some good rotation. Kennedy is going to get loaned out. George Thomas is going to get transfer listed. Flaherty, I'm going to loan out because it says he has something special, but I was just going to sell him. I'll loan him out. I'll play it as it is. I'm going to transfer list Albert Adoma, 62 rated, retiring anyway. It's just a matter of can we get anything for him. Also going to re-loan out Duke McKenna. Going to loan out Jaden Ball. Going to loan out Matthews. We're going to sell Shadipo. Keeping Chair, keeping Lecco, keeping Willock. Going to try and loan out Abreu. Kelman, I think we're going to loan him out again. I don't want to sell him just yet. I don't think he's going to get minutes though, so I'm gonna loan list him. We're going to keep hold of Linden for now as a good rotation option. Obviously, we've got Ricky J. Jones as that as well, and Harvey Hutton's going to be our leading man this season. I'm going to sort out the contracts, and we'll see how much money we've got left over after I've done those. So I'll be right back. Okay, all the players that I wanted to keep hold of, their contracts have been sorted. Albert Adoma, Hammerline, Johansson, and Archer, the only ones that I haven't extended because either I'm getting rid or they're retiring. Patton is a player I was recommended to scout to potentially come in and be a second choice for Dieng. I have no idea what his starting rating is, so I'm going to scout him. If we get through 18 days worth of the calendar today, which there's a decent chance we will, we'll potentially look to pick him up if he's suitable for what we're looking at. I'm looking for somebody around 70 rated to be our second choice keeper. Now, something I tend to always do is look at free agents and look at the teams that got relegated in the championship. I forgot to mention that last time, so thank you to those who did bring that up and mention that in the comments down below. So let's have a look at the teams that got relegated. I'm fairly sure, by the way, it was Burnley got promoted in the playoffs. I think they beat Blackburn in the playoff final. So I'm fairly sure it was Burnley that went up in the playoffs. So Brentford came down. So let's have a look and see if there's anyone that we can potentially look to pick up here from Burnley that could be decent for us. Strakosha could be an interesting player. Milinkovic-Savic could, again, be somebody to maybe look to pick up. Centre-back is maybe a position we can look at. Charlie Good, I wouldn't be upset with picking up Good. He turned us down for Brentford before, and that's when we ended up picking up Dickey. Henry as well could be an interesting one. Good option at left-back. Aaron Hickey is a baller. Definitely give him a quick scout. Let's see if there's anyone else as well we could go to pick up here. Sorensen... maybe. Midfield is definitely a position I wouldn't say no to some players. Josh De Silva on 12 months. That could be a good little pickup for us. Janelt, I think I signed him in a previous career mode, so I'm not going to go for Janelt just because I think we signed him before. Onyeka, good little player. I'll give him a scout, but I reckon he might be a little bit expensive because we're looking to pick up a few players. We're not just looking to pick up the one. Fosu. Maybe, actually. You know what? Because people said to me, there was another comment down below saying maybe move Ilias out wide and bring in a cam. I'm going to look at wingers or cams. I'm going to look at both. I'm not just going to ignore the fact that actually that could be a decent option for us. Keno's Potter, great player. And Bemu, also a great player, but I'm not going to scout Bemu, but I do like him. Bemu, very good player. I'm going to be cheeky. I'm going to scout Ivan Toney. I feel like he's going to go elsewhere, but I'm going to scout Ivan Toney. There's been loads of talk. Cracking hairdo, by the way, mate. What a haircut that is. A lot of talks, obviously, Ivan Toney getting himself in trouble, not just with, the betting stuff, but with Brentford fans. Been a few situations where he's maybe not spoken about Brentford in the best way that you would for a player for your team. Who knows? Regardless, we will see who else has been relegated. Who else has come down? Not enough Forest have come down. So let's have a little gander through the Forest team here. I don't think I'm going to pick up any of the keepers. Oreo in the championship's kind of mad, but 30 years old is not quite what we're looking to do. We'll bring in a few players with a bit of experience, but I don't think we're going to go crazy here. Kate could be an interesting one. Little bit of experience there. Panza, by the way, really like Panza. I think he's going to be a good little player. Omar Richards, give him a scout for sure. Neco Williams, I'll also give him a scout. I think actually last FIFA we signed Neco Williams. I might be wrong there, but for now, I'm going to remove him. And if you guys remind me if I did or didn't, then we'll go from there. Gibbs White would be a steal. That would be the perfect player to come in at cam and then move Ilias out wide. Jesse Lingard. I could do that more out of interest more than anything. I won't lie to you. Okay, let's keep looking. Let's see if anyone else particularly jumps out. Pereira, 31. I don't think I'm going to go for Pereira. They've got some interesting players, It's a shame that apparently my scouts are already busy. That's annoying because I would definitely look at Dennis and Awanoe. Probably saying that wrong. You know what, actually? Do we need a striker? We only need a striker if we sell Linden. So we'll come back to strikers. And last but by no means least, the last team who came down were Fulham. I fully skipped Fulham. I must have fully skipped Fulham the first time around and just not paid attention to the fact that I'd gone past them. Now, they have got Leno. I mean, it's an 80 rated keeper. He would be a very, very good little pickup. But let's see if anyone else particular jumps out. And Babu wouldn't be a bad player to pick up. But again, I'm happy with Led. Anyone else? Kieran Tierney? Okay, but there's no way he's staying in the championship. Let's be honest. That Palhinha, again, hell of a player. But I feel like 30 mil is going to be a little bit out of our price range. But we'll keep looking elsewhere. Adeyemi as well. They signed he's on loan. He's on loan. Never mind. I was going to say mental. I won't take the mick and look at Mitro because I don't think Mitro would come to QPR, let's be honest. But I'm also going to look through the free agents. I'll let you know if anyone jumps out. Okay, I think I must have gone through the free agents last time because there were a bunch of players that I'd already looked at and were like, oh, they look decent. And I went to scout them and it said, "Oh, continue scouting." So I'm obviously there's a few players I'm obviously looking at, and now I remember I went through some players. We looked at players like Bellerin, etc. I remember now. Okay, my brain. But there's some really good players that we could potentially be looking to pick up here. There's Banat, who by the way looks obviously his stats look fantastic. One player that's definitely worth us talking about right now is this Jacobs. Now he looks pretty good. I'm going to guess he's going to be maybe like 77, 78 rated. What I'm going to say is if by the end of the month Jacobs hasn't been signed, I'm going to pick him up. I feel like QPR, we wouldn't, looking at some of the other clubs and stuff and looking at how good this guy is, I don't think we'd be the first choice team that would be picking this young lad up in Belgium. I'm not scouting in Belgium. So the way I'm going to run this is if by the end of this month he's not been signed by another team, I'm allowed to go sign him. I think that's a fair way of doing it. I think it's making up for the fact that I'm not going to get his rating because I can't assign a scout to him right now. I think it treats it as if we're sort of like taking a punt on this young lad because he looks like a decent player and no one else has got him from yet. That's the way I'm going to do it. But we do also need to go through and work out who it is we are going to sign. I've got so many players here that we are scouting, one of which is Vega. Now, last season, I didn't sign Vega because, again, I said I thought it was a little bit, not quite right that we would sign like a 78 rated player on a free agent in the championship. We're now in the Premiership, and it's been a whole season that no one has picked this man up. So you know what? I think that's fair. I'm waiting a month to go and pick up this other lad. I think I'm allowed to go sign Vega. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to pick up Vega, hopefully, on a free. All right, let's see what kind of contract this guy wants. He wants to be crucial. To be fair, he is probably going to end up being crucial going out on that left wing for us. 4-year contract, I'm fine with. No release clause, I'm fine with. I'm hoping for about 30 grand. I'm absolutely okay with that. Let me just drop this to 29. Sign-in bonus, keep that at that. And then let me just edit the bonus. I'm going to edit it down to like 650. I think that's fair. I think that's a decent offer. Just asking for a little bit less, and he's all about it. Absolutely fine with that, mate. Big signing. Very happy with that indeed. And we sign our first signing of the video. I'm assuming we're going to get a couple through the door. I'd be very surprised if this is not the first of many. So yeah, all about that Vegas here. Now, free agents, you are guaranteed to get an A because you got them for free. So that is inevitable that you get an A on him. But he's worth 21 million. So I think we've absolutely smashed that. Obviously, again, there was no way that we got a bad rank on that one. We were guaranteed to get one. So we'll keep everything going on. We'll keep the other guys being scouted and we'll kind of pick up as and when anything else happens. When we get some scout reports in or if we get any offers for anyone. Let's go. Now, Troyes have come in for Seny Dieng, but I'm not going to be selling Seny. Seny, for me, is going to be our first choice keeper unless something happens or somebody pops up to be like, you know what? That's either an offer we can't refuse for Seny or that's too good a video to turn down for a new first-team keeper. Another player with another offer, and that's Jimmy Dunn. And again, I don't really plan on selling Dunn. Even if he ends up becoming our sort of rotation option, I've got no interest in selling Dunn right now. I'd like to keep him at the club. Well, it took a little bit of time, but Vega is now here. Vega is now actually at the club, which is fantastic. And again, on a free deal, I'm very happy with this signing. Really happy to bring in our first new player and for it to be a player of, very good rating. I think he comes in as our highest rated player. So that is pretty fantastic if you ask me. I'm all about it. And I think he's just going to add something to this team. If I'm able to train him so that he can get the 4-star skills, that'd be fantastic. The weak foot, I'm not as worried about. But getting him in on those 4-star skills for me is going to be pretty important. And hopefully we can bring this man in to do a pretty good job. Welcome, Vega, to QPR. Couple of loan deals as well. Jacobs has gone out on loan to Braunschweig. Is how I'm going to say that. Probably said that wrong, but I got a couple of others eventually on their way out too. But that's a good deal, getting our keeper that has got good potential out on loan. Also out on loan is Duke McKenna. He's off for 12 months. And again, I think it's good game time for him. Okay, so a few of the players that were free agents have since been signed up that we were looking at. So, for example, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is now no longer a free agent. He has been signed. There's a couple others that I was looking at that have also gone. Van Heck, he is also gone. Let me just sort it this way so we can go through a little bit. There's a few other people. I can't remember now. Tony, by the way, I'm not going to sign. A club's gone in for him. for like 26 million or something like that. Or was it 26? It might have been 16, but still, realistically, a striker's not really where we're looking to spend all of our money. But yeah, a few players being picked up, which is kind of frustrating for a little bit more than I'm looking to spend on them. So we're going to have to let some of them go and no longer be options we look at. Fred, however, is still available, and I'm very tempted by Fred. Premier League experience, and I really do think I'd be daft to turn him down. If I hadn't got Vega, I probably would have also looked up at, and looked to pick up Lanzini. However, another player in the free agents that is still available, and I think I'm also going to make the move for, is going to be when I find him. Hold on, I've fully forgot who it was. That's how Bellerin. I think I'm also going to go for Bellerin. Now I know we signed Laird on a permanent, and I'm all about keeping hold of Laird. Again, this is a very experienced player that I think we'd be stupid to turn down. So we're going to sign Bellerin on a free, and we're also going to go ahead and pick up Fred. We're going to get both of them on frees, and I think that is super smart business. Okay, let's get Bellerin done first. I'll offer important just in case they accept it. They never seem to, especially if they're going to be coming in as such big players. I'm going to offer 4-year contract. He's probably going to want 2. He accepted 4. All about that. Absolutely here for it. By the way, looking suave with that Tash. I'm going to offer 35. And then I'm going to offer 370 as a signing on. I think he's going to ask for more. But you know what? He's here for it. Yes, Hector, my man. Absolutely down for that. Thank you, Hector, for signing on. You absolute gem. Honestly, very happy with that signing. I think that's a really good pickup. And we're not going to go full in and do like a Nottingham Forest. We're going to have a lot of players going out, that is for sure. But we're going to get players in that we need and get players in that actually strengthen the squad. And we're not going to go silly over the top and buying like 1,000 players. However, really happy with this. Good competition in a couple of positions there as well. Obviously, Laird, again, very good player. And I'm not going to stop using Laird, but he will become our sort of second option. He might also play sometimes on the left because Powell does get a little bit tired. Just bear that in mind. But now Fred, I think, honestly, is going to be perfect for us to now pick up, especially knowing Johansson's retiring into the season. Even if Fred can come in and do a good season or two for us, I think this is a huge deal. 3-year contract. I'm absolutely about it. No release clause. That's fine. Again, I want a similar contract. Perfect, mate. Absolutely perfect. Let me just bump that up to 360 to make up for the lack of the bonus. 34.5k. Again, I'm fine with that. That's a very similar deal to what we've just offered Bellerin. To get both of them through the door on very cheap, very affordable contracts, I'm super here for, super down for this. And I think these are the kind of quality players that are going to keep us in the Prem because we've got some good, exciting talent and we've got some Prem experience in these 2 players. Absolutely here for it. So far, 3 free agents. I'm not just going to be signing free players, do not worry. But these ones, to me, just made sense. Charlie Kelman is also going out on loan to Genk for 12 months. Again, I think it's just good experience for him because he's not going to get in the team anytime soon. Worth noting, we got an offer here for Hutton, 21.3 million. I won't lie to you. I expected to be offered a little bit more for Hutton. I'm not going to accept it because personally, I don't think that's anywhere near the value that he's going to be worth in even a season's time. But yeah, it was a little bit less than I was expecting to see, only 21 mil. Okay, we are going to quick sim this game, but right here is what would be at the moment our go-to starting team. I don't think Fred's going to be the captain. I think it's been given to him because I swapped him straight in for oh my God, Tom, use your brain. In for Johansson. I think I'm going to make either Field or Dickey. I think I'm going to give it to Dickey because Field could sort of be rotated in and out a bit, whereas Dickey I think is more likely. I mean, he's our best centre back rating wise by a fair bit. So I think that will be what we end up doing, especially if Johansson's not going to be first name of the team sheet this season. But 2-1 win. Willock and Vega both picking up goals either side of a third goal for Salan, the team from Italy. But yeah, sweet. I'll take that. Going into game number 2 with a bit of a rotated side, just to give a couple of other players a bit of a chance. Ozzy, Clark, Salter, Laird, Johansson, Howe, Lecco, and Dykes all being the players to sort of come in. And again, just for the second game, bit of rotation. We draw 1-1. Again, Chrissy Boy getting on the score sheet, things you'd love to see. Just a good chance to give some of those other guys a bit of a chance to play. Okay, 2 things we need to address immediately. Hammerline gone to Turkey. Absolutely fine with that. Went for a mil, so we get just under 700k's worth of that. Ilias's release clause has been met. We are going to go resort a contract with Ilias, and he is going nowhere. Okay, Ilias's deal is sorted. He was on 16 grand a week. I offered him 18, but he asked for 29. I'm fine with it. He's staying. That's the main thing. Conor Marston has also left. He's off to CF Montreal, gone for 1.45 mil. Again, they offered me, I think, 1.3. I asked for up to 1.45 because that was more than he was worth. And apparently I could have got two, which just doesn't seem right. Very interesting thing to note here. Just got an email from the board about Ilias's contract. Now, I mean, realistically, the release clause got triggered. Ilias actually even said he wanted to stay and wanted me to sign him onto a new deal and said thanks for signing him onto a new deal. I don't see why the board have to be so funny about like that possibly happening. I didn't put the release clause in place. The release clause was in place when I joined the club, and yet it's my fault that that was the case. Seems a bit daft, yeah. Maybe just actually look at the contracts that the player actually makes rather than the ones that were already set into the save. Just worth thinking about. Just very quickly worth noting, Lenny Jacobs has joined Marseille. Now, I know it might feel like I've missed out on this really, really good young potential player. I mean, showing the fact that he's joined a team like Marseille, I think says a lot. I think it's a decent team for him to go into. It'd have been different, if he joined, a bit of a meh team. But Marseille is not a bad team, a team that can get into Europe relatively consistently. I think it says a lot. So I'm fine with that. We've also picked up some fantastic free agents, so I'm not going to be upset about missing out on them too much. However, we are going to have a little look through the players that we have scouted. Now, Patterson has come back as a 67. It's the same rating as Archer. So I'm not overly sold on it. However, I'm happy to pick him up as a rotation. My worry would be he's not going to play much, therefore he's not going to go up much, but we can kind of play that by ear. I was looking at Cade Gordon and Palmer for possible players at some point, but I'd have really looked to sign them if I was bringing them in as actual players to start. Now, Palmer's on 36 grand a week for a player that's going to come in and be behind at least three options for the same position. I don't think I can justify 30 grand a week. Gordon on 10 is a maybe. Doing that would mean that we let Lecco go. That's something we have to think about. It's a maybe. Zarauri, I don't know how to say his name. I'm going to leave him for now. Burnley themselves also just gone up, so I don't think we'll pick him up. Paslak, sorry, is somebody that I looked at because at the time he was a free agent. He has since joined a team. Glover could be a really, really good potential centre mid to pick up. He would actually be higher rated than Dexter Howe, so that's something that we've got to, again, maybe consider. And Bomb, great versatility, really good versatility, nearly as good as, I mean, Glover could actually come in as a left back. That's something to bear in mind. He's a very good little player. So let me know your thoughts on Glover quite specifically to kind of play a rotation of centre mid, left back, or right back. Pretty insane. Bird was somebody that we were told to look at for last season. He had moved last season, so I couldn't pick him up for this season. Not crazy expensive. I'm not against potentially picking up Bird. He would come in and replace Field in the starting 11. So Field would drop and become our substitute option. Again, let me know there. Lewis Potter, I'd be super down to pick up, but would definitely be a rotation. He wouldn't be in the starting team. Diallo, I'm just going to get rid of because he is far too expensive. You can see some of these other players that are coming up as well here. Arnold, again, looks like a real good little player. Looks beefy as well. It kind of built a bit like Hulk, the Brazilian lad Hulk. Hell of a player. Canos, still there, still an option. Branco, again, he was a free agent I was looking at, but Burnley have picked him up first. On Onyeka, I'm a bit worried by that price. I don't think he's going to go up very much looking at that price, so I'm going to hop, dip, and skip that one. Omar Richards would be a great left-back option to pick up. Definitely considering him. Araujo, not saying that right. He's not up for grabs. De Silva, super interested in. He's only got a year in his contract, which is why his value is like that. Very tempted to go for De Silva. He would come straight in to our team. Again, he would replace Field. So again, he would kind of be the box-to-box player we're looking at. Fred would end up being the DM. De Silva would kind of be a box-to-box CDM. Morgan Gibbs-White, I'd be down for. I would have to convert him to CM, which would be a shame. He's a little bit more expensive, but we've got a little bit of money to splash here. Aaron Hickey, I'd still be super down to sign. I really would be down to sign Aaron Hickey. I think he's a really, really good player. Alanga, I don't think it's going to happen anymore. Henry, again, could be an option here. So we've got to look at either Henry or Hickey. I don't think we pick up both because we don't need to. The option is we go for the slightly older player that's going to cost us about 10 million, or we go for the younger player that's going to cost us around 20. That's something we've got to work out. I'm gutted we missed out on Oxlade. I think that would have been a really unique signing, but we've got some really good players otherwise. Lingard's going to be a no-go. Niakate looks fantastic, but pretty pricey. And Palhinha, it would be phenomenal, but is a bit expensive. So we need to work out who it is we're going to go for here. I'm torn between Hickey and Henry, and then De Silva. I also don't. I mean, I would be signing 2 players from Brentford. Is that going to happen ever? Probably not. Okay, I'm gonna make the decision here that I'm gonna sign one of those 3. But I'm going to leave that decision up to you guys. I'm going to let you guys pick. Do we sign Henry? Do we sign Hickey? Do we sign De Silva? We're going to sign one of them, but only one of them. The other option we have to look at, actually, and while I think about it, I can now actually go and scout him, is, not Kearney, sorry, is Tierney. Now, Tierney, I'm spelling his name wrong, aren't I? Is it I-E? Is it like that? It is like that. Kieran Tierney could be an option for us at left back if we didn't sign Hickey or sign I forgot his name already. It's not De Silva, is it? Am I being stupid? It's Henry, isn't it? It's Henry. Yeah. We either sign Henry, Hickey, or we can sign Tierney, and then we sign De Silva. I think I've already spoken myself. Okay, I need you guys to help me decide Hickey, Henry, or Tierney, because I think De Silva's too stupid to pass up. I'm going to try and sign De Silva. Okay, we're going to go in a little bit low ball here. I'm going to offer 6 and see what they say to 6. 7.2. Okay, I feel like I can definitely get them down here. 6.2. I reckon we get them for less than 7. I would have been stupid to pass this up. I'd have been absolutely stupid to pass this up. There's no way that this deal is not perfectly viable. We've signed players that have been ex-Fulham, ex-Brentford before. He's only got a year in his contract. He's Prem quality looking at that rating. So realistically, I think we'd be daft not to do this. We're going to go ahead and pick him up. I'm going to offer him 25 grand a week. He's on 25. I'll offer him 25. I'll offer 300 signing. I'll offer 280 signing on. I reckon he might ask for a little bit more money. He's absolutely fine with it. Absolutely fine with it. I'm over the moon. I'm super about it. This is going to be a pretty phenomenal transfer window. This is also not De Silva. That is quite clearly Fred. But we've signed De Silva as well. Sick. Right, back to the De Silva transfer. 6.2 mil. For me, that's got to be a B or an A easily. He's worth 8.4. It is a B. Okay, I'll take a B. I would have preferred the A. What they're going to say I could have got for less. 5. There's no way. If I'd have offered 5, he'd have left the room. There's no way that he'd have stayed if I offered 5. But let's have a quick look at the squad. Again, I'm not going to sign anyone else for today. The other positions I would like to pick up a player for is left back. And I'm thinking about a centre-back. I think left-back and centre-back, I think those two make the most sense. But can I actually just drop Johansson straight out of the team? That feels like a small crime to do. But that's the team right now. I'm super happy with this squad at the moment. Like, right now, it's just this part of the team looks a little bit weak. You could say Dieng, maybe 74 is a bit low-rated. But just these two, I think Dunn can maybe become our centre-back off the bench. Powell, I think, would drop out of the team, but we definitely keep in the squad for sure. I'm not going to get rid of Powell. Great option as a rotation for left back, but a new first team left back and a new first team centre back. And I think this team is absolutely ready for a season in the Prem. Let me know if you guys have got any suggestions. Let me know out of the 3 I've talked about. I think Tierney makes the most sense now that we've signed De Silva. But if you guys think that Henry or Hickey is a more viable option, let me know in the comments down below. And let me know if you've got any centre-back options as well. We could even sign Tierney as a centre-back. He can play there IRL. We might have to convert him. But it's something worth thinking about. That's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, then please do leave a like on the video. It supports me, the video, the channel, and the series out a whole bunch. If you're new, hit that sub button and turn notifications on to be told anytime that we upload a video. If you want to watch us on live streams, it's Hersey Games over on Twitch and on TikTok. I do stream on both, so make sure you come and say hey. Links to both of those are down below, along with links to our channel sponsors. Again, massive thank you, of course, for supporting the channel. But that's it for me. Thank you for watching. I've been Tom. You guys have been awesome, and I will see you soon. Look after yourselves, and of course, wash your hands in a bit.
Slap bald head, yeah, it'll probably hurt me. Bang top bins, it'll probably hurt you. Ginger, streamer, platform, YouTube. Drop a name in the chat, we'll say hello. Entertain, yeah, you already know. Capital H, yeah, I'm a read it slow. Hersey Games, yeah, you already know.